Hey guys!
Hi.
I'm Avery, and Madison will be here in a second,
I'm looking
but
for a makeup palette.
I am going to do her makeup, so you guys can watch. We primed with the Skindinavia Makeup Primer Spray, and now I'm going to start color correcting her. So the color corrector I'm using is the Stillazzi number 1 palette. I don't know. Oh, there we go. So basically color correcting, I'm not going to get too much into it because I can do a whole video on that. But she's got some redness like on her cheeks and around some spots that she has. So that'll be canceled out with green. And then for her under eye, she's got not too much darkness, but a little bit of darkness. So that's where the orange will come into play. Usually you would want to use peach on someone with her skin tone. But I'll show you how to kind of make this orange into a peach. And normally if you were doing makeup on a client, you would not be dipping into the product with the brush and then putting your brush back in the palette. But this is kind of like my personal color correcting. And Maddie doesn't really mind, so. Okay, so now I'm taking this orange and putting it only where she's super dark and has hints of purple. And then I'm also going to take the concealer part of the palette and put that on top, and that'll make like a peach tone. Just because she's really not that dark and doesn't really have too much we're kind of going for like a more natural look. And again, on any other client, you would mix it on a palette, but since I know her well enough and she doesn't mind, I'm just gonna mix it on the back of my hand. So the Stay All Day foundation mixed with the Fiona Stiles Matte Finish Foundation. This is like a medium coverage, so it'll sheer out that Stay All Day because that one is thick, like thick AF. And then I'm going to be taking a foundation brush by Sonia Kashuk, mixing those together, and we're just going to apply those these. Okay, now that her base is done, we're gonna do a little bit of concealer under the eyes. We're using the Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser, and again, I'm just gonna pump some out and then put it on the back of my hand and apply it with a brush. And she creases really easily, so once I blend it out, I'm going to have to go in immediately with a powder. And the powder we're going to use is Coty Airspun, C-O-T-Y. And we're going to do a little bit of highlighting, so I'm dragging it down into a triangle. And we're also going to take this concealer down her nose a little bit, and the center of her forehead, just to even out the under eyes because you don't want a super bright under eye and then nowhere else. And Madison doesn't have oily skin. In fact, she has dry skin, but I know her well enough to know where her makeup is going to melt throughout the day. So that is around her nose. So we're just going to powder there, on her upper lip, and then a little bit in the center of the forehead, but not too much there. And a little bit on the chin. So basically her T-zone is where she kind of gets oily. With the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector, the poured version in Moonstone. And I'm just going in with the Beauty Blender. And we're gonna pat it on top of her cheekbones. And then I'm also gonna set that with a little bit of a Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Champagne Pop. Looks like this. With a Senna fan brush. Okay, now I'm going to powder her a little bit with a natural finish setting powder just so her contour doesn't skip. And this is the Makeup Forever Pro Finish Setting Powder in, I think it's 117 is the color. Now we are going to bronze a little bit. And since she's so fair, I'm not going to actually use a bronzer on her because it'll pull really orange. So I'm going to use the Loreal True Match powder in W6. And we're taking that on a Delium Tools 960. And we're just going to put this powder where the sun would naturally hit her. Now I'm going to go in with a e.l.f. angled brush because again we don't want a too harsh of a contour, and then I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild contouring palette in Dulce de Leche, and I don't grab a lot of contour at all. I literally am just going once, like tapping into the product once. And then we're going to see where her contour would naturally be, and it's going to be right about there. And then we're going to place the brush where the deepest part of the contour is. And you can already see that definition. And again, just dipping in. And then tapping off the excess, because the last thing you want to do, it's a lot harder to go in with a lot of product and blend it out than it is to just keep adding product as you need it. Okay, so now we are going to do her brows. First, we're going to go in with some clear brow gel, and then I'm just going to fill in where she needs it because she actually has pretty thick brows. She doesn't need a whole lot of extra help. But the clear brow gel is just going to help me see where she needs the pencil. This is like Anastasia brow gel, the clear one. And again, this is her personal one, so if you were working on a client, you would go in with your own spoolie. But I know she likes a little bit of definition on the outer tail. And I'm just doing small, light strokes And this is the Anastasia Brow Wiz in taupe. Now I'm just going to go in and carve out this brow slightly. And now we're going to move on to shadows. I'm going to take another Delium Tools brush. This is the 783 brush. MAC palette. The Warm Neutral palette. Looks like this. And I'm going to take a mixture of this color and this color. Sorry they don't have like names on them, but... I'm gonna go back into this Wet n Wild contour palette and continue to define this crease a little bit more. Now I'm going to take this Morphe M432 brush with a mixture of this warm brown and this purpley brown, just because we're going to do a little bit of natural eyeliner on her. And then we're also going to take this underneath her eyes in her lower lash line. And then we're going to also take a pencil brush with this first color we used, just to buff out those two shades. And I'm going to do a little bit of that too. I'm going to set her powders with a setting spray. Okay. And this setting spray was the Skindinavia the makeup finishing spray. Okay, now we are going to do her lips. I'm going to line her with Jordana lip liner in Rock and Rose. Workout. Now let me see your liquid lipstick. And now we're using the Stila. Thanks for watching.